Okay, so coming up next to the stage, we have the stylings of Janet.
I get to enjoy the music for a minute. Hi. When I walked in, they said, "Oh my God, you look like a Chicago gangster." And I've even got the pocket watch thing, but I so totally didn't think that I was going for the Chicago gangster. I will date myself, hot tamale. I was thinking of the big jacket from Stop Making Sense from Talking Heads.
Hell
like,
yeah!
That's what, and like, not the whole body or the head or whatever, but that I got at Walgreens for 90% off after Halloween. Because, like I said, I've got to keep the red hat on it in homage to the dead Republican pimp who was on the ballot and got one of the gubernatorial seats in Nevada. He's dead. A senator? He's dead. And he won. I'm like, how did that happen? Anyway, sorry. I was going to share 3 different pieces for you. This one is from a collection of stuff from one of the military magazines I run, cc&d magazine. This one happens to be called On the Edge. The poem I'm going to read to you is also in a book I did for every periodic element. And it's a periodic table poem that I'd like to share with you. And it is for Cobalt. It is called Touching Cobalt. We toasted our anniversary with cobalt blue champagne glasses after we looked over the cobalt and tungsten wedding bands. It seems fitting, since I am so attracted to you, that we're drawn to cobalt, one of the most magnetic elements. I heard a physicist explain that when 2 solid objects are pressed together, they never actually touch. Now, I can't imagine it, but maybe because electrons repel, all objects remain one molecule apart. That must be why, when we embrace, I want to hold you tighter and tighter, because I want to defy the laws of physics and feel that contact with you as long as I possibly can. Because right now, I don't care about electrons keeping us one molecule apart. Because when it comes down to cobalt, it's 27 protons and 32 neutrons all wound tightly together with a strong nuclear force. Its nuclear binding energy is so strong that it can only break apart once it's broken down to its isotopes. It won't break apart in its pure form. Kind of like us, I suppose. How we always seem to be so bound by physics. Physicians say that solid objects can never actually touch. And I'm sorry, but when it comes to us, that just can't be. Because I want to experience you with all of my senses. I want our molecules to intermingle. I want us to actually touch. Thank you. I would like to read to you a new poem. And I worked as an acquaintance rape workshop facilitator for a long time, and I've heard lots and lots of stories, and when I hear them, I want to share them, and I would like to put them either in a book about shattering glass ceilings or in a future Pharaoh Memes collection book, which is why I've got my Pharaoh Memes images here for all my Twitterverse and such. But this is a poem, brace yourselves, called Like Nothing Ever Happened. In Waco, Texas, a grand jury found enough evidence in a case against a man indicted on 4 counts of sexual assault to send the case to trial. Now, usually when a grand jury sends a case to trial, that usually means there's enough evidence to convict. But I just heard on the news that instead, he pled no contest to 1 charge of unlawful restraint in return for the dismissal of 4 charges of sexual assault. With his plea from this fraternity president rapist who had nothing to offer the state for a plea deal, he gets to lower his charges in exchange for counseling, a $400 fine, which is less than the fine for leaving a disabled car to go get help, plus 3 years probation. And added bonus, if he can actually stay clean until the probation's over, his record will be expunged. This means he wouldn't have to report as a sexual offender. It would be like nothing ever happened. This woman was repeatedly raped, strangled, and left for dead, face down in the dirt. She was brought to the hospital where they called the police. And there's an enormous amount of evidence. I mean, that conviction is almost sure. But 4 counts of sexual assault. And they treat it like nothing ever happened. Women think that we've shattered the glass ceiling, but we still have to shatter the mentality that women are objects and rape is not a crime. We try to plead our case, but nothing else ever happens. Maybe we women need to shatter more than ceilings, but also men's mentalities. Maybe we should even shatter a few of your bones, the way you shatter our souls with every act of rape. Shattering your bones wouldn't even cross that line you rapists cross with your misogyny and violence. Is this what we're left with? Is this what we have to do? Should we start to get down as low as you to start to try to even the score? I mean, if we're so equal, maybe it's our turn to exact our revenge. Try to make it on a happier note. This is a collection book of stuff from performance art shows over multiple years. This is chapter 48 V1, around a 48, 28, 38 series. And this is a little piece of prose that's in here, and I hope you guys will get to know the real me from it. This is called Type A Person. I was in my friend's car once, and she was driving through the streets of Chicago, and she was letting people get in front of her, and she was stopping at 4-way stop intersections and waving other cars to go on in front of her. And when she is going, she's going under the speed limit. And I'm thinking, my God, she's under 30 years old. She's driving like she's twice her age, and I wanted her to get going because, damn it, I don't want to die in this car. I've got a lot of living to do. I've never jumped out of an airplane or made $1 million or been in a lustful affair with a high-ranking political candidate, and if I'm going to go out, I surely don't want to die of boredom while someone else is staying in the most congested lane of traffic. Well, they could just as easily go into the next lane, cut everyone else off in front of them like I would most certainly do. And that had occurred to me, and of course it fills me with a complete and utter sense of elation because I love being pigeonholed in these stereotypical psychological categories. I really am a type A person. I mean, yes, I'm the one that's yelling and banging on the steering wheel when the people in the cars, because people are acting like idiots. And yes, I'm that person who has to race to, like that might be 50 feet away and just slam on my brakes again. And yes, I'm going to be the one there that won't go down without a fight. I will be there cutting everyone off, weaving in and out of traffic. I'll be the one that will get there before you. Trust me, I will. So, needless to say, I've discovered that this is a problem of mine. I wish I could go to some therapy group for this so I can go to a weekly Type A anonymous meetings, but we'd probably all be pushing each other in the doorway 30 seconds before it started saying, "Gay, get out of my way, asshole, you should have thought of getting here on time before you tried to cut me off." Or when the meeting would go on and members themselves would be probably stopping themselves and being filled with people yelling, "Hey, jerk, I think I was the one that was doing the talking. What, are you God or something? Show some respect." But when I think of it, well, maybe when I get in an elevator, I try is to make those doors close as quickly as possible so that no one can get in the elevator with me. Because, you know, I really hate all people and surely don't want to be in a cramped, confined space with a bunch of strangers. But then people get onto the elevator and they get in the same elevator as me and they invariably press the buttons for all the floors right before mine. And I start pursing my lips, stopping myself from yelling at them all. Because really, I don't have the patience for this. Because more than a human being, I am a human doing. And I hate having to depend on the schedules of others so that before I can be able to get ahead of them all. Yes. I'm that person in line at the grocery store with 3 items, shifting my weight from foot to foot, frantically scanning all the other lines. I'm the person that wants to ask the person right in front of them, "Oh, can't I get in front of you? I've only got 3 items, and you've got 2 grocery carts that are filled with crap like Cheetos, Pepsi, fish sticks, and Haagen-Dazs cookie dough ice cream." Yeah, I'm that person who has 4 different plans on any given occasion because if any event gets too boring, I can just pick up and say, oh, I'm sorry, there's a meeting that I have to go to now, instead of having to actually tell them that they're too boring or that I just have no idea whatsoever of how to relax. I'm already guessing that at my funeral, after that long procession of cars is creeping through toward the cemetery, I'll be opening that casket up and whispering to the driver of the hearse, hey, what do you say we floor it and blow everyone off in line? We could probably grab a beer at the corner bar and still be able to beat everyone to the gravesite. Because as I said, I'm a type A person, and I'm going to make damn sure I do as much living as I possibly can. I'm not going down without a fight. And wherever that goddamn goal line is, I swear to God, I'll beat everyone to it.
Yeah.
No, it was just, it was a little twisted. Okay. Give it up for Janet! Okay, I gotta do this because Janet made the reference. Okay, hold on.
I'm hoping commercial. I'm hoping this mic isn't going to make that zzz.
That's not it.
That's what the
No, wait.
Nobody did the thing